Hi, this is Shelley Kraft. We're coming to you live on SNN Live. We're at the Hard Assets Conference, and we're in San Francisco. I have Jeff Berwick, the Dollar Vigilante, a featured speaker of the Hard Asset Conference. Well, Dollar Vigilante, welcome one more time to SNN Live.
Thank you so much, Shelley. Always a pleasure.
Well, I hate to say this, but you're right a lot. You know why I hate to say it, right?
I hate to say it as well, but we can only speak about the truth, and not a lot of people speak about the truth much anymore, and that's why I always enjoy talking to you. You allow me to speak about the truth. There's no CNBC or NBC people waiting to interview me because I actually speak about the truth, and when you speak about the truth, you do tend to be right a little bit.
Well, you are opinionated also, and you know, you have to speak your mind to get your point across.
Yeah, well, I don't know any other way to live other than to say what I feel and really just say the things that I'm seeing out there. As I said, not a lot of people really talk about that sort of thing. A lot of the stuff that you see on your television every day or from your governments is mostly just propaganda and lies at this point. And so there's an old saying, I forget who said it, but it said in a time of universal deceit, a person who speaks the truth is a very dangerous person. And it's to an extent that's true, but there's nothing I'm going to do about it. I'm going to keep saying what I see and what my research shows and what's really going on out there, because so many people are getting the wrong information, and it's just quite sad actually that so many people are in the dark about the things that really matter. But I think thanks to the internet that we can get sort of some of the truth out there for once in a long time.
Well, if truth is in the pudding, you certainly have your share of followers. But let's talk about, give me an update on what's going on the Occupy Wall Street.
Well, I haven't been to the San Francisco Occupy Wall Street yet. I'm thinking of going for lunch today. We'll see what's going on down there. I went to the Occupy Montreal last week in the Montreal Investment Conference, and there was no one there. There's actually a bunch of tents that were empty. I guess they go home at night or something like that. So, I think in general this is the beginning of an awakening. People finally, especially in the U.S., are starting to become aware of what's going on and how they've been basically robbed and lied to their whole lives through 12 years of government indoctrination, and everything that's on their nightly news is all basically propagandized and statist information. And slowly people are waking up, but unfortunately with the Occupy Wall Street people, they don't actually know what the real cause of their problems are, so they're taking it out on Wall Street, which they shouldn't. Wall Street's just a symptom of the problem. The real problem is the government and the statist education and all those sort of things, and the Federal Reserve especially, which is an anti-capitalist institution. Anyone who believes in capitalism would actually know and understand that a central bank is anti-capitalist. It's actually a communist doctrine to have a central bank. So that's been in place now for 98 years, since 1913, and slowly people are waking up. So I hear the Occupy Wall Street here in San Francisco is actually at the Federal Reserve here in San Francisco. So I'm very encouraged by that. I'm going to go down there today and see what's going on, and hopefully they're against the Federal Reserve, the central banks, and the governments, and not against greed or some sort of capitalism, which they think is the problem, but it's actually not.
Now, I want to ask you a question, because we're coming to the end of the year, and your summation is, for the end of the year, what happened, and then we'll finish off by asking, what do you think is going to happen next year?
Well, the second part of that question is really tough. I would never have guessed a lot of the stuff that happened this year, although I did predict a lot of protests happening inside the U.S. I predicted that in June, was the last time I said that, and I got a lot of people writing to me and saying I'm crazy. There's no reason for people to do any sort of protests or uprising in the U.S., and within a few months Occupy Wall Street started. So, just like what happened in the Middle East, a lot of the Arab Spring started off with a man in Tunisia who was running a small stall in a market. He was protesting the government involvement in his life and how they were impoverishing him, and he lit himself on fire. He self-immolated himself. That started everything that's happening in the Arab states right now. So it can sometimes just take one person to really make a statement, same as sort of Gandhi did, or even Martin Luther King here in the U.S. And so with 7 billion variables on Earth, there's no way to predict what's going to happen. But I do predict, and there's actually no way that there will be anything but change and turmoil and things that you definitely won't expect and you never expected, and things that will surprise myself in the next year or so. And it's really a time to be a lot more careful than usual and a lot more aware than usual. Don't pay attention to what your government or your media tells you. Just do your own research and look things up, because there's a lot of people trying to fool people right now. And the more that people can awaken to what's going on and take responsibility for themselves, we're all going to be a lot better off because of that.
Lastly then, where should our viewers be putting their money?
Well, definitely get yourself out of money. Ben Bernanke and all those people are trying to destroy the dollar and all fiat currencies as fast as they can I don't know if it's with evil intent or with stupidity. If they actually believe in Keynesian economics, then they're stupid, and if they're actually trying to do it, which, they couldn't actually do a better job of destroying the dollar. So there's a good case to be made that they're actually trying to destroy the dollar and perhaps create some sort of one world currency or government. I don't know. I don't have access to that sort of level of involvement, but either way, you have to get out of anything that's paper, anything that Ben Bernanke can print, get out of it, and anything that is hard asset that he can't actually make disappear or inflate into worthlessness is a good thing to buy. So gold, silver, real estate, energy, anything real. Get back to the real things. Get out of paper. This is the death of paper.
Ladies and gentlemen, a man with an opinion, the Dollar Vigilante. What a pleasure to have you on. Good to hear your opinions, and thank you again.
Always a pleasure, Shelley. Thank you very much.